Hi everyone, Brighter Monday had their 6th edition of the HR Forum at the Sarovar Stanley. This event brings together HR professionals from across the country to talk matters recruitment. Each year, the event keeps getting better, it keeps getting bigger, and it keeps getting brighter. My name is Samuel Amira, and this is how it went down. This edition's theme was recognizing and rewarding employees the right way with an aim of increasing productivity at the workplace. The most engaging topic of the day was the one that revolved around money. You guessed it, well, this was my favorite topic. So we discussed remuneration and benefits. So here we discussed what constitutes a good remuneration package. We also looked at why it is critical to have an effective compensation program. So we were taken through this topic by Ruben Bindu, who is the Chief Human Capital Officer at Equity Bank.
The main theme is to do with how do you reward and recognize employees for high productivity. And I think it's a topic that each and every organization is concerned about. How do we get our employees to produce the best, at the same time keep them engaged, stay longer with us, and all those kind of things. So my talk this morning was basically trying to challenge the HR professionals and the business leaders who are there in terms of how do we move from what we are the traditional way of doing things, the conventional systems that even some of the big organizations are now running away from because they have proved not to be as effective when it comes to driving productivity. And so the key content of my presentation was to try and get people to think, because I think that's the right way. We can't have a solution that is applicable to every situation.
One of the topics we discussed was performance management systems. So here we talked about the evolution of performance management systems. We discussed what constitutes a good performance management system. So we looked at real life scenarios, and HR has also shared the common challenges that they faced, and we deliberated on the possible solutions. The topic was presented by Purity Kajuju, who's the head of reward EABL at Diageo.
So today I talked about performance management within the bigger theme of the day, which is about recognizing and rewarding employees the right way to increase productivity in the workplace. And I think performance management is really a big aspect to that, because modern day HR talks about rewarding for performance. So hence my topic today about performance management and how do we ensure that our performance management is effective in being able to recognize and reward employees effectively.
We had the opportunity to discuss rewarding employees for compliance. So here we looked at what is compliance, what drives compliance, and whether an organizational culture influences it. So we also discussed the compliance rewards and how to implement them. So this was presented by Muthoni Nyoike, who is a Senior Managing Counsel at Oracle.
So today was about, creating awareness and raising awareness around how we can recognize our employees and reward our employees for exhibiting compliance, ethics and integrity in the way that they do their work. We consistently recognize our employees for exceeding their targets, for bringing in numbers, for bringing in new clients. But we need to start celebrating in terms of how they bring in those numbers, how they bring in those clients.
So is it in an ethical way?
It's in an ethical way. It's about how you do things and making the right decisions and the right choices for yourself and for the organization at the end of the day.
The event was graced by the Acting Labour Commissioner from the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, Mr. Isaiah Kiriko. Here's what he had to say.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, as you know, this is where we have labour laws that govern the relationship between employees and the employers. This is where we also talk about relations between the employees who are organized into unions and their relationship with the employers. Some of them have entered into certain commitments. The commitments precisely being first and foremost, they have recognition agreements. Beyond that, they go into signing collective bargaining agreements, which set out their rates of pay. They set out their maybe various forms of compensation. They set out things like annual leave, how many days are they supposed to be granted. They set out issues to do with overtime. And where there are no collective bargaining agreements, the law is there. So even those who are not members of any trade union, they are protected by the law.
We managed to grab a few of the participants in between the break just to get a gist of how they found the presentations, the presenters, and the discussions in general. Here's how it was.
A wonderful event so far. We're about midway through and we've had some really interesting topics that have come up for discussion. Topic today is how to retain your talent in your organization, and I think pleasingly from our perspective there's been some really interesting conversations around, before we talk about talent, let's talk about the role of HR and what HR really means in an organization. And we are an HR-centered organization. We have a host of products that we are building and constantly iterating on to make HR take a strategic seat at the table. And I'm really glad to see that message is starting to filter through to Kenya's employers.
So the BrighterMonday HR Forum is inspired by trending topics that affect HR practitioners in our country. And the goal of having the HR Forum is to create a forum where we can learn, engage, and network to find solutions that can challenge the status quo of the HR industry in Kenya.
Okay, so just getting like-minded individuals within the recruitment space in one place and just brainstorming on HR issues. So for the topic for this session, this is the 6th BrighterMonday Forum. Where did the topic come from?
So this is the 6th forum, as you've said, and the topic is recognition and rewarding employees the right way. So what we do most of the times is that we try as much as possible to use real data. As you know, BrighterMonday is the largest job board and we have an extensive variety of talent. We have over 700,000 users on our platform. So we run surveys through them to understand what their needs are, where they need to be at certain levels within their careers. So what we did earlier this year, we released the BrighterMonday Best 100 Companies to Work For report. And within that report, we asked employees which companies they're willing to work for and why and for how long. So within this forum, within the survey that we conducted, we got a shocking feedback that only 27% of the sample rate or the respondents who are professionals working in different companies are engaged. Engaged meaning that they are happy where they are, they show some level of commitment, that they are happy to stay with their current job at least for the next 5 years.
They've got passion for the job
so
as well.
So they have passion for the job. And, that's where the big question comes from. What happens to the 70%, plus?
Yes.
Professionals who are in the workspace who are not engaged. So that's how we selected this topic to address, because looking for employees is one thing that we do as BrighterMonday, because we provide you the best talent, but it's within our interest to actually ensure that the employees that we supply to the employers that work with us, that actually they stay there for a longer time.
The event was also graced by the managing partner of the African Talent Company, Heather, who told us more about TATC and their relation to BrighterMonday.
My name is Heather O'Shea. I head up the African Talent Company for the Africa regions, where we are powered by our job boards such as BrighterMonday and Jobberman.
Right. Okay,
Yes.
so from today's forum,
Yes.
what were your expectations before you came?
So I think my expectations before I came was really to understand the challenges the HR community in Kenya are facing. This is the beauty of the continent, where the challenges in Kenya are very different to possibly the challenges in Uganda.
Very
And I
true.
think a forum like this is absolutely critical in unpacking, getting great minds together and solving people issues to be able to take businesses to the next level.
Awesome.
Yes.
And from the discussions that we had earlier,
Yes.
from the presenters who did it, how did you see the discussion?
Absolutely mind-blowing. I've been in this industry for 30 years. I'm an HR professional. I learned things this morning. He really, made me think. And I think with those kind of people working together with Brighter Monday and the Africa Talent Company, nothing can really stop us. We have the right minds in the room to come up with the solutions to empower and take these organizations right to the top.
And there you have it. That was the 6th edition of the Brighter Monday HR Forum. My name is Samuel Amira and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. See you next time. God bless and goodbye.